Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dana, and today it's time for a Monday Novice fight. Yes, indeed. I'm also quite aware that, we reached 1,500 subscribers, which is amazing, but due to having an exam today, I'm going to have to wait with that until tomorrow, and also note this is also going to be a bit shorter cast due again to the whole bit, exam. But again, just for today, tomorrow we'll pick up for everything regular and again. Got quite a few, but quite a few of them weren't a map I just had recently, so rather had figured that might not be the thing people wanted to see. And again, some of the others were, a bit too novice, a bit too silly things like, people stopping a lot of troops inside the same building and they're not really moving them about, in particular infantry units, just hanging them about there until they get grenaded and thus losing it all. Bit pointless, really. Of course, let's go have a look at who we'll be fighting right here in the southern corner. We are seeing EazyDuzit, or EazyDuzit, I suppose if he's from Yorkshire. I think it's that accent, might be another one. Nonetheless, fighting for the Americans, fighting for the 90th Infantry Division, going out against Panzer Elite or PanzereIII. I'm not entirely sure what he's sort of hoping to go for there. Probably a PanzerIII sort of sounding name. But he's here as sort of ad hoc Kampfgruppe composed of some replacement troops of the 17th SS, finding themselves in the thick of it. In fact, let's get right down to it. This is only going to be a bit novice, but again, that's what Monday Novice fights are about. If you can't handle that, perhaps you shouldn't be tuning in on Mondays, Just a casual suggestion, reminder, thought. Engineers on the way, barracks going up right here for EazyDuzit. Probably Panzergrenadiers flee on the way from here, and there we go, the first Panzergrenadier team with their Kar 98Ks. Getting an idea. Barracks up, probably arriving on the way. Engineers heading eastwards here towards the fuel point. And Kit and Gret already at the fuel there, so nothing unusual there. A bit of flak guarding the base. Most German units or regiments would have had their own anti-aircraft company, actually, or battalion, I believe. No, that's company, so a bit of a fun detail there. Of course, the flak fueling would for those sort of have been the primary air gun. The heavier flak 88 was sort of on a larger level and for Luftwaffe units mostly. There we go. Rifleman arriving. Good start, I suppose. Is he going for the munitions point with them? That's a bit more peculiar. Oh well. Panzergrenadiers heading towards the center, are they? Or they're going to be splitting up. That could be a bit dangerous this early on. Better to keep them together. Apparently he is in fact spreading them out, just using them to take the map. And of course, remember, Panzergrenadiers are not really good with that until they actually get an upgrade from the Kampfgruppe company. If I'm not mistaken, it said he is in fact splitting them up, sending them out on their own to take territory, thus really weakening the actual Panzergrenadiers. Are not really getting as much out of them as he actually could be. More riflemen on the way for EazyDuzit, obviously. I mean, it would be better just to let the Kettenkraut take the point, instead use those two Panzergrenadiers to really take the fight to the enemy, like say here. Here, doing a bit more what actually sort of fits into their forte, their strengths. And, oh dear, here we see certainly a great novice mistake. It's using this church for actually stuffing infantry in it. It's considering again these sort of windows it actually has and that's actually usable. Again, note those are very few, at most two, and those are on the broadsides. I mean, it's not very suited for infantry. It's good for machine guns, but if you're stuffing infantry in it, you're doing something wrong. I mean, particularly this early on with Panzergrenadiers, they're not supposed to be sort of doing stuff like that. And of course, he doesn't have the other Panzergrenadiers nearby to support it. So in fact, what he's doing is, right now we are seeing 12 riflemen fighting against only one Panzergrenadier. The others are just going to get shot at. I mean, this is an utter waste of Panzergrenadiers. Even in this case, he should be retreating. I mean, he's not going to get those others in to help. So, I mean, not really good at all. PanzerIII, that's just not good at all. I mean, the House of God isn't going to give you any sort of special bonuses. And the whole Gott mit uns is just propaganda on a belt buckle. So bloody well get out of there, you tosser. But again, I mean, handling it from the right point here, certainly, you know, just firing from here. Bit of a nice shooting gallery. And then he bloody well proceeds to stuff another team in it, thus again wasting more Panzergrenadiers and moving in others from another angle and getting them into a building as well. He's not going to get any sort of concentrated firepower down on them, and of course he's just going to allow the Americans to hit him from every angle. Oh, come on. And now we're seeing an infantry half-track coming out. Grenades ready. With only 2 infantry teams, he's getting pretty aggressive right there with his grenades, but he needs to get those Panzergrenadiers out of there. 1 rifleman finally bites his dust grenade on the Panzergrenadiers. 3 down. Except in different buildings, one might probably just got hit by a shot. Half-track moving in, he's still not evacuating those Panzergrenadiers. I mean, come on. Use your head. And there we go, actually finally getting down there. Infantry half-track on its own though. Veterans you want for these riflemen, although 1 also goes down there. That's so far 4, that's actually 5 Panzergrenadiers down for 2 riflemen. And Panzergrenadiers are bloody well much more expensive than riflemen. This is not really optimal at all for the Panzer Elite. And of course now he's losing more while he's standing about in the open versus units in heavy and light cover. Again, not good at all. I mean, cover really plays a huge difference. Again, also note negative cover, even worse. Yet he just keeps on doing it. And there we go, finally retreating, finally pulling out the things that need to be pulled out. Other Panzergrenadiers on the move, but this is absolutely terrible, to put it mildly. And of course, with all those reinforcements, he can't train any new troops either. I mean, it's easily compounding himself with further and further troubles and issues and woes. Of course, we'll see if he pulls out something, but you know, not really the most auspicious starts. Now he's actually going for something here. Let's just, for the fun of it, have a quick look. He's going for Panzerschrecks. 5 minutes into the game, he's seen grenades, yet he's going for Panzerschrecks. I mean, if your opponent goes for grenades now, he goes for sticky bombs because he hasn't done that. But again, grenades means your opponent isn't going to be going straight for the armored cars, and now he's going for a lucky stick company. He doesn't even have a lot of infantry. Again, he's building too much infrastructure and getting things he don't need already this early on, when he probably just should be getting ready to kill riflemen. Absolutely terrible sort of recognition of what's actually going on. Terrible prioritizing of resources, and well, generally not good unit preservation. I mean, there was a lot of things you really could have done, but again, you know, generally don't stick your units into buildings like that. I mean, broadsides, yes, and if they're all there, great, but again, you know, not the bloody church. That's for MGs and snipers only. Do not stuff infantry in there unless it's some sort of desperate situation where they need to be kept alive or something like. But otherwise, do not, I repeat, do not, with a capital not. We'll have you deported to the Eastern Front. And again, repairing right when there's an enemy unit nearby. Don't. I mean, he could have probably gotten some damage off on those engineers, but again, terrible. And he's not even using the half-track to transport infantry. Again, Panzergrenadiers can fight from the infantry half-tracks, yet he's completely throwing away that option. And now looks like he might actually be losing a Panzergrenadier team in a second. Oh, no.
Enemy unit.
Again, terrible unit preservation. Not using the infantry half-track in a way that could actually help him. Now again, repairing while the enemy's nearby. Do not do that, I repeat, most emphatically. And there we go, sticky bomb on the half-track, of course. Again, more again pointing out that, oh wait, he probably buggered up. Increased squad sizes certainly helps a bit, you know, with the firepower they can deliver. But again, he barely has any units. He has a kidding crowd. He has those 2 Panzergrenadiers and more grenades going off. And he has a half-track. Everything else dead or gone. He has a logistic company, but again, barely any units. He's spending too much resources on anything that really doesn't matter at the moment, and spending it on everything instead of spending it on things that probably could help him. Of course, now again repairing, but he should have, you know, not been repairing at the front, and he lost too many units again because apparently he doesn't know when the bloody time is right to repair and when not to repair. He really does not seem to rather grasp the situation. Of course, now the Americans are going in for all of his territory. I mean, that's really nice from EazyDuzit. And traps acting up. Great. Sandbags and tank traps, you know, don't do that. I mean, you know, some of you are thinking, well, you know, tank traps, and it looks like he's gone for an observation post a bit odd, but I mean, I know some people used to go sandbags because you couldn't deal with it, you couldn't clear it out like barbed wire. I'm sort of worrying this is actually sort of EazyDuzit thinking here. Instead, I mean, he would be better off laying down barbed wire. I mean, just wire it off, easy as that. But, you know, apparently he feels otherwise. I can't help but feel that's again a sort of a misnomer. Not entirely sure what's going on with Fraps there, my apologies. Now the musical cues himself a bit as well. There we go. Panzergrenadiers moving out. Now he's building a third building again. Note. I mean, 9 minutes into the game, he already has 3 structures. He's using an incredible large amount of resources on infrastructure. He barely has any other units. Again, this is not good. This is not optimal by a long shot. This is in fact pretty damn terrible. And it's also now his Kettencrad is parked out here. BAR's now on the way for EazyDuzit. I mean, that's probably why he went for the fuel point. You know, he's hoping to just, you know, pump up those riflemen with lots of gear and weapons and other nasty bits. Apparently swinging about with a half-track. He might be going in for the bait. I suppose he with several Panzerschrecks, but I don't know again. You know, he might have been better off, you know, trying to focus on killing the enemy. I mean, had he been doing a better job on this from much early on, he probably wouldn't be facing an opponent with all 3 infantry upgrades already. And a trio center, which is actually pretty good. Moving in there with the tank busters. What will he be going for? Will he be going for the... No, he's going for the machine gun emplacement. He isn't trying to sort of knock out the barracks as his first priority. That would... a bit of a big miss there. He's in fact now moving on to the next machine gun emplacement. Still not the barracks, which again should be his main priority. There we go, actually firing on it now. Sort of. Of course, lots of riflemen now on the way. This could be a bit of a problem. There we go, riflemen exiting. Need to focus. Riflemen going down a bit. Incendiary grenades on the riflemen. Lots of them, in fact. But of course, already now he's in a bit of trouble. Why doesn't he get into the half-track? Get into the half-track. Riflemen going down, though, again. Panzergrenadiers are very nasty, that, but... why aren't you getting in? Of course, suppressive fire from the riflemen. This is good. This is great. Not for Mr. PanzereIII, but of course for EazyDuzit. It's brilliant. It's amazing. Quite clever. But again, you know, he should have been targeting down that barracks from the beginning if he wants to do something. Instead, he did the opposite. More Panzergrenadiers arriving, some with assault rifles. And now going Luftwaffe, getting Fallschirmjägers. And he's in fact losing most of the map at this stage. Again, not really helpful. And again, he should be using that Kettencrad for something a bit, you know, helpful. And again, repairing in the middle of everything. But again, I mean, we're rather seeing a huge mismanagement of resources. Quite, well, horrible. At least, I mean, he's using, you know, troops to actually move about again, which I've seen, you know, other people not quite do. I've seen people lose their initial Panzergrenadier team in seconds, or well, minutes, I suppose. It'd be more accurate, but still. Now charging right at this. Be careful, though. Again, don't stand out in the middle of the open. Use cover if possible. Yet again, PanzereIII seems most willfully persistent to ignore cover. This isn't Red Alert or StarCraft. Cover matters, you tit. And again, he's just sort of moving about and taking huge and he's charging right into the BARs and Fraps. Right, let's try this again. If Fraps allows me to. But again, you number 2 think, don't charge into BARs like that. A bit of veterans, yes, being secured, but these Panzergrenadiers need to get out there. Why isn't he at least putting 1 unit into the half-track? They can fight from the half-track, you can... Oh dear, and there we go, another Panzergrenadier team is lost in quite short time. Because again, he seems to be, again, willfully throwing them away. Incendiary grenades, barely any survivors. Rifle retreat, this is good. Unit preservation on EazyDuzit bombs, but again, you know, might also want to sort of again cast, remember when sending in replays, you know, how did my opponent, you know, actually do? Sort of, you know, quick reminder. I mean, again, I cast it because again, well, you know, apparently some people play this terribly with Panzer Elite. I mean, we are seeing some good ideas. Trouble is, the execution is just absolutely horrendous. Terrible. Demotion and deportation to the Eastern Front. Worthy stuff. Moving in, Fallschirmjägers taking up position in the cafe. Great, except again, blind spot. The cafe can't actually hit anything here. I mean, he doesn't really seem to be aware of structures. He sort of seems to think, you know, they're just magic protection areas of some sort. Rifleman retreating in the face of all these Panzergrenadiers. That's at least common sense there. Kettenkraut finally moving about. Half-Tech also moving away. Right into a mine. Oh, no. Wait, it hits another mine. Panzergrenadiers left behind to take points again. Not what they're good at. And now he's getting a scout car. I have absolutely no idea what's going through his head. We're instead seeing a supplier going up there. And a forward barracks from Panzer III. He barely has anything. He needs more units, more boots on the ground desperately. Yet he goes for a forward barracks. I mean, Christ. And he could just reinforce from the half-track. But again, I don't really think Panzer III's forte is, you know, management of anything. Now we are seeing an assault, of course. Panzergrenadiers moving in to repair. Of course, the question is, will he make the mistake he always does, which is to continue repairing while the enemy attacks? Which again is not something you should be doing. And he's finally moving out the Fallschirmjägers from there. Again, not good to just keep them high like that. Don't leave troops hanging like that. There we go, Rifleman moving in. Panzergrenadiers are in fact still repairing in negative cover where they're even easier targets. EazyDuzit moves in, probably with a grenade. Yes, indeed. And he just keeps on repairing. And there we go. Absolute massacre. And again, I mean, the reason why I also do something like this, and you know, some people, you know, why do you cast this? Well, because if I see this, there must obviously be some players who seem to think this is the right way to do it. Well, you seem to think there's no harm in doing it. Again, you know, don't. Really don't. This is sort of, again, this sort of negative, you know, don't do this, don't do that. For God's and heavens and the fatherland's sake, do not do bloody well that. I mean, we're really seeing some terrible management. Again, it's sort of a major flaw, one of them certainly being besides, you know, unit preservation. I mean, I don't usually feel as of late I need to sort of point out cover, but again, apparently sometimes I do. Also, you know, usage of infantry half-track. Not good at all. Yes, I'm sorry, the fraps acting up. Alongside my voice. But again, you know, also building too many things and, you know, getting the things they don't need by you not properly reading his opponent. Then again, he might have sort of been thinking, well, I'll base rush with Panzergrenadiers right from the beginning, of course. That right down failed because, again, partly terrible unit preservation. And partly probably because he should have been doing it with more units and at least more tank busters or Panzergrenadiers in the beginning then. You know, a second half-track, perhaps. But generally, he shouldn't have been doing it. He should have been focused on killing the enemy. You know, those on the field, the boots. Scout coming about here, hitting a mine. Kettenkraut moving away. Panzergrenadiers again taking territory, which the Kettenkraut could have been doing. Infantry half-track getting repaired. This is quite sad, to put it mildly. Let's just there we go, attacking with and he just standing about repairing instead of adding to the fire. Now Rangers are moving in, opening up on the half-track with the bazookas. Fallschirmjägers, Panzergrenadiers moving in, half-track taking more fire. And he's just moving into all that automatic fire again. Oh, thankfully he's retreating. He's interesting enough, he's not gone for a single armored car, which probably could have been helpful at some stage, but you know, he just seemed to casually ignore that. And again, floating a lot of resources at this stage again. Mistake after mistake. Tragedy after tragedy. Offense after offense. Just standing right with units there. He could have gone for some Luftwaffe troops to actually try and repair this. But again, no such luck. Scout car here hitting another mine. Engine is in fact destroyed. Again, no support for that or any sort of repairs, any sort of sensibility. I have absolutely no idea what she's in fact doing now. Just floating resources, I imagine.
Forward supply lines are broken.
Moving out.
The enemy is taking
Calling in some fresh Fortschlägers from somewhere. Whoops, sorry about that. In fact, he's calling them off map. FG-42s for some. More Panzergrenadiers on the way. Rangers taking a few losses right there.
Our supply lines are broken. We have territory out of supply.
A bit of infantry, a bit of defensive infantry. These Rangers could actually go down. Yes, the only minor victory at all for Panzer III. He killed a team of Rangers. It looks like this scout car is going to be kaput in a second or two. There we go. And again, absolute lack of any sort of cohesion or anything right there on Panzer III's behalf.
Attention. The enemy advances.
Moving out once more, riflemen hiding in the buildings, and then EazyDuzit proceeds to make the same mistake, hiding. But no, he's setting up 4 bags of his own. Not entirely sure why. Panzer goes here. Will they stop up and actually fight? No, he's. Oh, Panzer III. Keep an idea what's actually bloody well going on. Let's return to EazyDuzit. Fortschlägers moving up, and he's putting him on the wrong side of the cover. In fact, he's not giving them any cover at all. I mean, again,
200 points.
This is only going to be among the rarity of cars, but apparently they still need to be shown. I think also most important, you know, also try to remember, you know, to look at your opponent, see what he actually bloody well does before sending them in. I mean, I'd certainly like to try to sort of keep some sort of thing, you know, going on with Monday Novice fights, you know, not just complete tossers.
We're losing ground.
Apparently this mine was not finished. Quite interesting. More mines though. Rangers moving in against these Fortschlägers. Well, again, just doing nothing while getting killed. Not the right thing to do. More to hard track now for there. Engineers still hiding in the building. Lots of manpower being floated. Fortschläger dead. He did not make it. Murdered. On retreat. Panzergrenadiers moving in. Mortar firing in support. Half-track not doing anything. And a machine gun emplacement. Bit of action here in the north. Some Panzergrenadiers moving in. Mine hit. Artillery getting called in right there. Pretty much ending that debate, I think. No idea why he had to move in that mortar half-track. GG. Yeah, not much of a G there, but of course most of the lessons here are, well, pretty damn obvious, you know. Cover, cover, cover. Damn well use cover. I cannot stress it enough. Use cover. Cover. Anyways, on to the sort of next bit, if Raps would like to. But of course, you know, besides the obvious one, bloody well cover, you know, 4 bags. There's a time for everything, also 4 bags. Not when you barely have anything on the map and you actually need to take it. Not good. Also, you know, too many structures too fast, too many upgrades too fast. I think, you know, not enough boots on the ground. And again, not enough cover, not uses of the infantry half-tracks in a helpful manner, not enough aggression. Silly base attack that clearly would not have worked and possibly could have, just barely, if he targeted down the barracks right away, but he didn't. Mistake. Great mistake. A bit late mining here and EazyDuzit. Overall, he did alright, you know, a bit overly aggressive. But, you know, he handled this situation well, though might be a bit better with mines. Good use of grenades, though good use of grenades against the Panzer Elite, certainly nice to see, and good just basically taking the map. But, you know, terrible behavior on this part. So, there we go. He's probably off for a trip to the Eastern Front, and I'm off as well. Cheers!